If you had walked past the old countryside school at sunrise, you might have mistaken it for a tiny farm. Before the sun touched the hilltops, children were already awake, carrying buckets of water, sweeping dusty floors, and tending to a small vegetable garden behind the classrooms. They studied only after the chores were done. The school was strict, life was simple, and everyone believed that work built the mind. But that belief never seemed to work for a boy named Eli Rowan. Eli was different, not because he misbehaved or lacked effort, but because every book looked like a storm of tangled lines to him. Letters twisted, words blurred, and nothing would stay in his memory. He was cheerful, polite, always the first to help his friends, yet when lessons began, he felt like a traveler who couldn't read any maps. While other children quickly solved problems, Eli paused, stared, and stumbled. His teacher, Master Holden, spent extra time helping him. "Look closely, Eli. Follow the shape," the teacher would say, tracing the letters slowly with chalk. Eli nodded, tried, repeated, and still failed. Some days he whispered to himself, "Why can't I remember? Why is this so hard for me?" Other children began to whisper behind his back. Some laughed directly to his face. "You're the slowest here. You'll never learn. Why bother?" Each insult felt heavy, like sharp stones piling on his chest. Eli would smile weakly, but when no one looked, he sat alone behind the garden and cried quietly. Hope was slipping away, drop by drop. The way everything fell apart. Months passed. Students advanced to the next level. Eli remained in the same class like a shadow stuck behind. One evening, Master Holden called him to the courtyard. His voice sounded tired, almost apologetic. "Eli," he said, "I have tried to teach you every way I know. Perhaps learning in this school is not meant for you. Maybe you should return home and help your family. Studying may not be your strength." The words struck Eli harder than any teasing ever had. He nodded silently and walked away, feeling as though his heart had cracked open. He believed he had disappointed everyone, especially himself. The unexpected lesson at the village. Well on his way home, Eli stopped at the old village well. Something caught his eye. Deep grooves scratched into the hard stone around the edge. "Who carved these?" he asked an elderly woman filling her pot. "No one carved them," she replied, pointing to a thin rope tied to the bucket. "Every day this rope rubs against the stone. You can barely feel anything when it touches you. Yet over many years, even a soft rope can cut into solid rock." Eli stared at the rope as if seeing it for the first time. A quiet spark ignited inside him. If a rope can change stone just by not giving up, then why can't I change too? That night, he decided, he would return. He would not accept failure, not if persistence could reshape stone. The boy who refused to quit the next morning before the sun even rose, Eli stood at the school gate. "I'm not leaving," he said firmly. "Please teach me again. I'll work harder. I'll try every day, as long as it takes." His teacher was shocked, but something in Eli's eyes, steady, burning, unbroken, made him agree. From that day, Eli woke earlier than anyone, worked harder than everyone, and studied longer than he ever thought possible. He asked questions, made mistakes, forgot again, repeated again, practiced handwriting until his fingers hurt, and read words until they finally made sense. Days became weeks. Weeks turned into months. Little by little, the letters that once mocked him began to obey. Eli could read. Then he could write. Then he could understand ideas bigger than any book could hold. The rope's legacy years passed. The slow boy became one of the most insightful students the school had ever seen. He grew into a respected scholar, writing books that helped children who struggled the way he once had. People traveled far just to learn from Eli Rowan, the boy who once couldn't remember a single letter. Eli kept a piece of rope on his desk to remind him of the well. Not intelligence, not talent, only persistence leaves marks on stone.